Hello, Year 6. So, today we're going to be looking at relative clauses and using them to create complex sentences. Now again, we've had a look at this before this year, so this is just a bit of a revision lesson. So, I'm going to show you some different ways of creating the relative clauses, and then there's 3 activities for you to do. Here's another hopefully cool transition. Cool transition, hey? So, relative pronouns. We can use them to create some complex sentences. So like we were looking at yesterday, complex sentences are sentences that have a subordinate clause and a main clause. So if I take a simple sentence like, Mr. Simister makes cool transitions. Transitions. Okay, simple sentence, there's nothing wrong with it. However, we can improve it using a relative clause. Now, relative clauses are going to start with a relative pronoun. There's quite a few, but these are probably the 4 most common. So who, whose, which, and that. So we're going to use them to tell us a bit more information about the noun in this sentence. Now, we've got 2 nouns, Mr. Simister and transitions. Often relative clauses are going to go after the first noun. So I'm going to tell us something else about Mr. Simister. Mr. Simister the year 6... Oh, hang on. That was a bad example because I've not even used a relative pronoun. Mr. Simister, who teaches year 6, comma, makes cool transitions. Now, like we said, this is a complex sentence because if I take out that relative clause, who teaches year 6, my sentence still makes sense. Mr. Simister makes cool transitions, okay? And we can use these to describe settings, we can use them to describe characters, we can use them for all sorts of different reasons. And today, ready, you're going to be writing 6 sentences that include relative clauses that you can use to describe a different setting from the one that you did yesterday. Steady is similar to yesterday, but I want you to focus on using some relative clauses as you describe in the setting. And then go, again, is similar to yesterday. However, you're going to include a character description within your setting about a character who enters it. So let's say you're doing the jungle setting. You might introduce a character who walks in, okay? So it might be something like the messy-haired boy whose clothes were made from animal skin, comma, quickly clambered up the tree. And then we've got a relative clause here, whose clothes were made from animal skin. If I didn't do that bit and just said the messy-haired boy quickly clambered up the tree, it still makes sense as a simple sentence, so therefore it is a relative clause going into another cool transition. So hopefully if you didn't know what you're doing with relative clauses, you do now. So like I said, ready is about doing 6 sentences that include relative clauses. If you want something a bit trickier, a bit better, move on to steady, and you're writing a paragraph to describe one of the settings from the pictures. And go, again, you are describing the setting using the different sentences that includes relative clauses, but I also want you to introduce a character to it, okay? So it'll be a slightly longer piece of writing. Year 6, have a good day. Obviously, you've got your other activities to do. When you've completed all of them, stick them on Dojo if you've done any work, and I will mark them as quickly as I can and get them back to you. Okay, see you later, Year 6. Bye.